rainbow cups in the shape of a swastika, mosques being set on fire. These are just two instances of anti-religious crimes that have happened recently. Since religion has existed, there has been conflict. Millions of people have fought and died over the argument about who's right about what's above. Wars aside, religion is a very taboo topic, and many can be ignorant and insensitive towards it, as shown by these recent events. With an introduction of a world religions class, many Americans will become more tolerant of others' beliefs. As a senior in high school, I took Ivy World Religions, and it's easily my favorite class to date. My views on religion have been forever changed, and I feel like I now understand the world in much better context. To decrease the incidence of anti-religious hate around the world, a mandatory world religions course should be placed in K-12 education to teach Americans tolerance and acceptance towards people of other faiths. Since the past year, hate crimes fueled by anti-religious sentiments have risen. In the article by the Human Rights Campaign, Dashow breaks down the FBI statistics for hate crimes in 2017. There was a 17% increase in hate crimes overall, while anti-religious crimes rose by 23%, and anti-Jewish crimes shot up by 37%. I've actually experienced this myself. For the past 2 summers, I worked at the Strohm Jewish Community Center on Mercer Island as a camp counselor. In May of 2017, a bomb threat was called into the JCC, and everyone had to evacuate immediately. And this happened at JCCs all around the country. For my work training, we had to learn what to do in that situation in an active shooter threat, something people who may work at other places may not have to learn. And this picture is actually from my synagogue in Seattle. The words, "The Holocaust is fake history," were vandalized onto the side. This increase in crime is not only just random attacks, but it's rooted in laws enacted in government around the world. An article by Baskin in 2018 states that government sanctions on religions have increased rather than decreased in the past years. Europe had the highest increase in religious-related mob violence. They also had the most laws enacted against religious groups, especially Muslims. For example, as shown in this picture, France banned wearing headdresses, such as hijabs, in public places. This religious intolerance didn't come from nowhere, and it was actually previously embedded into the education system in textbooks. In the article, How Advocacy in Education Shaped Hindu-Muslim Relations in the U.S. by Balaji and Milstein, it discusses xenophobic rhetoric in old textbooks. Textbooks used in 1994 displayed Islam as militant and violent, and Middle Easterners as nomadic desert dwellers. This was also evident in textbooks in California in the 90s, where religions such as Christianity had a whole chapter, and Hinduism and Islam would get maybe a couple pages of biased information. Luckily, this same group is working to change these perceptions. In the same article, the Islam Networks group gave education presentations to high schoolers about Buddhism, Christianity, Judaism, Hinduism, and Islam. This included a panel of practicing representatives of each religion, and they had a question and answer session afterwards. They conducted surveys before and after about their opinion on Islam. After listening to the presentation, there was a 75% decrease in students who believed that Islam promoted terrorism. These panels promoted religious cooperation and coexistence, and students were most shocked to see representatives treating each other with respect and warmth, rather than their views dividing them. In the article, Critiquing Borders by Steve Ramey of University of Alabama, he describes his experience teaching religion in college. His main objective is to appreciate diversity by making the strange seem familiar and the familiar seem strange. He encourages his own students to share their religious experiences to help the class learn a personal connection, while also validating the students' beliefs who may be underrepresented. In the academic journal by Lester and Roberts, it describes how teaching world religions helped shape school districts in Modesto, California. The town has tremendous religious diversity and is filled with Buddhists, Sikhs, Hindus, Muslims, Jews, and Christians, but with this increased diversity comes increased tension. So the community proposed that a religious literary course be placed in all 9th grade education. They crafted this course and it was put into effect in 2004. Religious tolerance increased after this course was taken. Answers to questions such as, would you defend a student whose religious beliefs are insulted, rose from 50% saying yes before to 60% afterwards. A couple miles west and 4 years later in Oakland, teacher James Peterson introduced world religions into his public school. His article in 2008 found it odd that in public schools, religion was such a taboo topic, but it was so relevant around Christmas time. Everyone in schools was celebrating Christmas. They were singing Christmas songs about Santa. There's Santa coloring worksheets, and maybe one Hanukkah song was thrown in so the Jewish kids didn't feel bad. So he proposed December would be World Religions Month, and he taught stories of prophets from all different religions to kids in kindergarten through second grade. They also took field trips to various places of worship. This exposure from a young age leads to an increase of tolerance when one's older, as they don't see these different religions as strange and incorrect. Some may argue that teaching religion isn't any more useful as just taking normal humanities classes, and it breaches the separation of church and state, but this is shown to be incorrect. In the article, Teaching Religion Around the World, Joanne Robinson describes why students take these classes. She explains how students now are more focused on spirituality and personal identification than people from past generations. Studying religion is much more personal than just taking an English and history class, and it shapes the students' lives way more. Those who study religion can handle much more controversial topics, and students are taught how to handle these difficult conversations more than other humanities students. Learning religion enables critical thinking and allows its learners to become global citizens as their schema of the world is advanced. In the article Teaching Not Preaching by Gorel, she describes her class in Salt Lake City. Students were taught the 5 major world religions, and their teacher believes it's important to teach this as the political and social world do not model this well. She quotes that she's never had a student convert or change their beliefs because of her class. In fact, the opposite happened. Kids who were already religious tended to enjoy learning about these other faiths, and it solidified their own beliefs even more. The implementation of a world religions course into K-12 education will teach tolerance and acceptance from a young age that will shape society for the better. Personally, to me, it is no surprise that we have seen the increase in hate crimes around the world, with the growing hostility we're facing in the U.S. right now. This issue is rooted in ignorance. We're scared of the unknown, and instead of broadening our minds, we attack what we don't know based off one stereotype. The only cure for ignorance is education. As former President Barack Obama said, "No one is born hating another person because of the color of his skin, or his background, or his religion. People must learn to hate, and if they can learn to hate, they can be taught to love."
Okay, Sophie, how did that go?
Okay, well, I'm kind of mad because I think I was short, but when I was practicing, I was at like 8:40. Oh, was I not?
No, you hit 7:30, so you were fine.
Okay, I thought that meant I had 1 minute left, and I was like, what?
Okay.
But I actually thought it went well. This was also kind of last minute. I stayed up till like 3:30, but like I practiced it. I think it was fine.
Yeah. All right. Your own personal experience in your class, and what takeaway from your experience would you say was reflected in the literature that you read about it?
I think just like how just like taking classes can really like defy stereotypes that you might have before, and it like overall for me it made me a lot more accepting of other religions that like I didn't necessarily know about, and it made me a lot more like appreciative, and like one of the articles said like they can handle more controversial like topics and difficult conversations, and I feel like after taking that class with like my peers, I'm not just like talking about like gossip and stuff. It's more like I enjoy talking about like religion, and like it's not like oh, this is right and everything's wrong. Like I now understand why like I think like all religions are really similar, and that have more interesting conversations.
Teammates. Do a quick.
I thought it was really good. I thought you got their attention nicely. I thought you had good coaching, and I was really interested to learn about it because I haven't really ever been able to like take a class like that. There wasn't anything like that in my school, and I really